Yo, what kind of money you put on that?
I ain't gonna lie, it's a lot of money though.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. You know what I'm saying?
Like 50 racks?
Nah, it's like
Hey, this is Matt and welcome back to the channel where we're going to be talking about Tory Lanez hair transplant, and it's going to be like a hybrid video. We're going to be touching on SMP, PRP, we're going to be touching on many things, but mainly his hair transplant. I'm going to be also evaluating this hair transplant, how good it looks like. We know the clinic, we know the price, we know the doctor, and now let's just get right into the topic. And before we start, this video has been brought to you by Go Fiber, which are hair building fibers, and you can pick up a free sample of your choice from the link in my description box below, and you can try them out and see how well they actually can fill out any patchy spots on your scalp. Alright guys, let's start with Tory Lanez before his hair transplant, and see how much hair loss he actually had before.
if you're not gonna do anything for somebody, just leave the situation alone, but don't kick them when they down.
Now this video is from 2016, and we can see here how he's receding on not only the hairline but also the temples. We could classify him as a Norwood 2A, almost like Norwood 2 to Norwood 3 transition. And Norwood 2A just means that he's not just developing these corners, but he's also diffusely thinning on the mid scalp or on the frontal forelock in the central region, which he is, and we can see it from some other photos of him. His temples has already gone also pretty far, considering he was like 24 or 25 only in this video.
Yo, what kind of money you put on that?
I ain't gonna lie, it's a lot of money though.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. You know what I'm saying?
Like 50 racks?
Nah, it's like 30 something.
So he actually said he paid about 30 grand US dollars because it was done in the United States. So yeah, that's a considerable amount of money for a FUE, which is like probably around 2,000 grafts. That's like my estimation, because his hairline has been done denser and also better frame, and also his temples have been brought forward. So I would say, I mean, it's very hard to estimate the precise graft number if you haven't seen like the recipient area freshly after the transplant post-op, but I would say around 2,000. So even if it had been like 2,500, I mean, even 3,000 grafts, which I don't think he got, but even then, I mean, that would make it like $10 like price per graft, which is pretty high.
Is it
yeah,
permanent?
Of course. Yeah.
So it just lives like your regular hair would live. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she asked about whether it's permanent. I mean, it always seems like it's the most permanent thing when you get it in the first couple of years, but then you realize that if you are not on medication like Finasteride or minoxidil, and you're not blocking DHT, you're not kind of preventing your hair from being miniaturized by androgens, even that transplanted hair, especially if it had been extracted with the FUE, which usually kind of utilizes the hair from like above and below of the safest donor zone, and these hair follicles also have thinning potential. So if you are not protecting yourself with like a medication, then these transplanted follicles can in fact miniaturize with time as well. They may not fall out completely, but they can thin in fact. So I would be cautious there, and I would get on medication if I would be him. Now this is another thing that I'm going to be discussing soon, whether he is or he isn't on medication.
That is a weird procedure where they like damn near cut like the back of your head.
Yeah.
And like I didn't do that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like what my doctor specializes in, shout out to Dr. Ziering.
He still kind of thinks that the FUT procedure, the procedure that Bosley is offering as well, he's like, yeah, that's the weird procedure where they kind of cut out the strip, and nah, I didn't do that shit, I did something else, so he probably got also like marketed like, yeah, you should do FUE because it is the most like more modern procedure or something which is like more advanced than FUT or whatever, when in fact he could have actually chosen FUT because he has afro hair, the follicles are curling, unpredictable, so it's actually much safer for him, guy in his mid-20s, to get with FUT. This is gonna cause less transaction. It's gonna be able to help him utilize the most permanent hair follicles from his donor that way instead of FUE.
He specializes in Black and Latino hair. You know what I'm saying? Not that he doesn't do white people hair too, but at the same time, he specializes in.
Here, I have to admit that Dr. Ziering does specialize in Afro hair. You know, celebrities like Tyga and now Tory Lanez. So he has experience with that. I have to give him credit for that. And Tory's hairline does look really, really good. Even the temple, it does look really, really good. And it's pretty filled out also. It's not like super high density as on the hairline, but it does look softer. It doesn't have any pluggy grafts, like very robust looking grafts transplanted in the hairline or in the temple. The direction of the hairs implanted on the temple is also natural, and all of that, like, you would never be able to tell that it is a hair transplant result. I cannot find any major flaws in the result itself. But again, there are not many people who will be able to afford such doctor for their FUE, who's going to charge them like whatever, 20, 30 grand for like 2,000, 2,500 grafts, okay? I'm just saying, the result itself is great.
Even right now, my hair is still uneven. That's what people don't understand. Like, they think like I just have like some, you know, my hair is growing. Like, you know what I'm saying? And literally, like, my hair be darker hair, be lighter hair, be.
Where did he do it?
Yeah, that's right. Even after like 6 months or 12 months after the hair transplant, the hair may not have the same color already as you are used to with your natural hair. It can be darker because it hasn't matured yet. It can grow uneven. You know, one corner can be more dense, the other corner less dense. Sometimes you even have to wait the full hair growth cycle. You have to wait for this transplanted hair to fall out maybe after a couple of years since your transplant, and then it will start a new anagen phase, new growth cycle, and during this new cycle the color will be kind of restored to normal, and also your hair texture will be very similar to what it used to be. Okay, so he's actually right about that.
I'm coming back with the braids on niggas. Like, I'm coming back crazy. Like, y'all think it's a joke. Watch me.
He wants to come back with braids, and this is a word of caution for him. I mean, you can do braids on your transplanted hair. This is no problem. But I'm more concerned about his mid-scalp and crown and his native hair on the mid-scalp and crown, because it seems like it's screaming after not being on medication. If we take a look at this other interview from 2019 as well, we can see that his mid-scalp and crown, they are thinning as hell. If you let that hair grow long, this hair is very weak and it's probably not being protected by any anti-hair loss medication. If you do braids on that hair, there's going to be some additional pulling force causing additional strain to these hair strands, and this may also cause things like traction alopecia, which actually one of my friend that had. Her name is Gabby, and you can check out her channel. I'm gonna link it below. And she actually did, like, kept doing ponytails for many years until she started noticing that the hair is, you know, falling out, and she didn't get on medication early enough, and that hair like never regrew back, and she needed a hair transplant on that area. So this is also a risk for this guy. I mean, if you want to do braids and cause additional strain to these already weak miniaturized hair on the mid-scalp and crown, dude, you better be on Finasteride. You better be on some really proven anti-hair loss protocol, which you know it's working for you well. And I wonder why Dr. Ziering didn't put him on medication, because if we check out his website, he has a bunch of anti-hair loss, like non-surgical treatments, topical finasteride, oral finasteride, like he has different stuff on his website. So I wonder why this guy didn't kind of push Tory Lanez into like taking finasteride. But yeah, I understand some of the celebrities, they can get really stubborn. They just want to look good in the moment, and they are not so concerned about the future. Mechanic tension to your hair strands, and you're not on medication, this can speed up the progression of the androgenetic alopecia even faster, as it would have otherwise progressed. He'll probably have to rely on fibers, probably will do like scalp micropigmentation like Jamie Foxx also did. So probably it's going to be a mixture of that until he will decide to get another hair transplant, and we will see if it's going to be FUE or FUT. Again, I would highly advise FUT.
Also, you can get PRP shots.
What's that?
Which is like, you get like a
like they take some blood out your arm.
Oh yeah.
And then
yeah.
they'll like shoot a shot of blood back into your hair because there's no blood circulating in a lot of these places. It's just why your follicles in your hair die.
Yeah, he's also mentioning PRP shots, and probably he got sold on a couple of them. Now, I'm not sure this is like the best idea for a guy to kind of go the PRP road and try to manage your hair loss with PRP and continuously need like several injections of PRP every couple months. I had 4 PRPs and it didn't work at all, while there are women texting me, messaging me, they got 1 or 2 PRP sessions and the hair is growing back. If your hair loss is more like androgenetic alopecia dependent, unlike by younger women who, you know, have stress and deficiencies and maybe some other things, you know, with their thyroid and other things that may cause like maybe temporary or more permanent shedding, these women can respond much more favorably to PRP compared to us men, whose hair loss is more attributed to hormones like testosterone, DHT, and our hair follicles being too sensitive to these hormones, and then miniaturization will occur. And this is like 95% of our hair loss. But yeah, I've seen women responding generally better to PRP compared to us guys. I have also talked to doctors, hair transplant doctors, who also had their little studies on patients after the hair transplant, and they said that if you inject PRP into the recipient area, the hair may start growing faster. They also observed if you inject PRP into the donor area, it can also help with the regeneration of the scar if you get like FUE. And these are some maybe things that PRP can be like beneficial for, but I mean, for hair regrowth itself, if you are a guy with male pattern baldness, it may not help at all.
I looked into the hair tat thing. I looked at that.
No.
Nah, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Why would you do that?
That just scares me. Like that's a
that's
lot
permanent.
of ink like on your brain.
Well, I don't know if it goes
You
all
got
over the
ink on
brain.
your face already.
But this is like tiny stuff. Like I'm not even in the game like that. Like you'll never.
Okay, he's touching onto the topic of scalp micropigmentation. That's the hair tattoo, as he kind of referred to it. And it's pretty much another type of cosmetic procedure, which can be used like for your eyebrows. Women use it to make it look more thicker optically. It can be used for a beard, if you have a less dense beard, to, you know, boost the thickness of it visually, obviously, not for real. And the same is used for hair. Okay, it can be used with short hair, like with bald head, or it can be used with longer hair. And I'm more a fan of using scalp micropigmentation with longer hair. I will have it done on my donor area when it's gonna look even thinner with future hair transplants. I'm going to probably deplete it more. I'm going to use SMP there, but I think it looks more natural when you have longer hair. If you do scalp micropigmentation with on a bald scalp, you better find like the best guy doing that, and there are not many like these doing that worldwide. So I would suggest doing like really good extensive research, visiting this artist in real life, his studio, and see real life examples after not only just 1-2 sessions or after 1 year, but you want to see these long examples after many years, because this tattoo can also fade with time, and there are some drawbacks of that as well. So I think that's why he's also like kind of more like reserved, and you know, he wouldn't have it done to him probably, because he would be afraid how this tattoo might look like in a several years of time. Okay,
Just go bald and just live with it.
Yeah, it's like you go bald and you grow a big ass beard.
That's
and
what I
then-
did.
That's what I
To
did too.
overcompensate.
That's what I did too. But then I realized, like, I'm looking 36. I gotta stop. I gotta slow down. Like,
Yeah,
you
don't
know what
jump
I'm saying?
ahead.
Like, I was looking like 10 years older than myself.
Alright guys, that was it for this video. I hope you really enjoyed it, and if you want to support my channel, then make sure you check out my website mattdominance.com, where you can get some free ebooks but also paid ebooks on topics of how to get your hair transplant the proper way, how to research hair transplant properly, best hair transplant doctors worldwide, best hair transplant doctors in Turkey. For all you guys who are interested in a hair transplant in Turkey, you can check out my free Facebook group, which is called Hair Transplant Experiences, with 1,500 members in it. We are very active, commenting, posting every day. I'm also live in the group very often, so you can check it out as well. You can check out my DHT blocking shampoo. There's a link to it in the description below if you want to support my channel as well. And what else do we have? Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram as well, Matt Dominant. And last but not least, you can also sign up for a one-on-one session or coaching session. I call it Hair Transplant Strategy Session with me, where I'm going to help you find the right doctor personally, help you, assist you throughout your hair transplant research, help you evaluate different offers from different doctors, and maximize your success with your first or second hair transplant, or I don't know how many have you already done. So that's going to be it for this video. I'm going to see you soon.